Life can be a garden of roses. Roses are beautiful. Almost everybody loves roses. But they also have thorns. Even though in life we all want our life to be perfect, all want positive energy, positive vibes around us, we can't just avoid the negatives. Bad things still happen to us. So when bad things happen and you willingly or unwillingly become the bearer of bad news, how should you deliver bad news? This is the topic we're discussing today on LifeXtra, and I am Bamas Victoria. With me, as usual, to discuss this interesting topic is a fellow colleague and a co-writer, a co-author of LifeXtra, Latifa Dakolo.
Hi guys, welcome to LifeXtra.
Okay, so once again, you're welcome to LifeXtra, and the topic we're discussing today is how best should you deliver bad news? So Latifa, what do you think there should be an etiquette for delivering bad news?
Normally, very few people would want to deliver bad news, and to do so, I think you would need to do that with grace and compassion.
Okay.
Before you deliver the news, I think you should prepare.
Okay.
Prepare yourself for the conversation, because the person receiving the news, there's not everybody is the same. There's a way some will react to the bad news. Some might react to it more difficult than the other, and so for some they may want to fight back, they may want to argue. Just prepare yourself for that kind of situation and know what to do when situations like that happen. Okay. Also, remind yourself why it is necessary to deliver the news in the first place.
Okay.
No one likes to give the bad news, but it will be easier to do it if you feel justified in delivering it. Mm-hmm. So as much as you can remind yourself beforehand why you're doing this. If you weren't the original decision maker, find out how and why the decision was made and what the rationale was and what other possibilities were. Okay. Before you indulge in that. Also be direct. Some might want to negotiate themselves out of it. Some might want to give other reasons why it shouldn't be that. When you have made such decisions, I think stick to that.
You said something about being direct. Like when you say direct, I want to understand, like, should you just come and hello, hey, this just happened?
No, you'll be compassionate. You should, for example, let's say someone is losing a job or something, and like you're the HR manager or HR executive. You don't just go to them, hello, you've lost this job or you've been sacked. There's a way you sit the person down, you make some prepare the person for what before you even say, the person would have figured out what you're about to say, but then there's a way you make that person feel calm about it. And so when you have given, he wouldn't feel bad, because some usually shoot the messenger, and they try to forget the main message, and the person that is giving me this message is the person that I should harass or I should fight with. So there's while you're being direct, be compassionate about it, but also stand your ground.
Yeah, and that reminds me, I recently read etiquette for conversation on WhatsApp with one of these broadcast messages. So one of the things I noticed, like, if, let me say, you want to pass bad news or there's something negative, you can say negative things in a positive way.
Yeah.
For instance, one of the things I can remember is they said, instead of you to say, if someone says something that is not true, instead of you to just come and say you're lying, they said instead you should ask the person, are you sure?
Yeah, sure.
So you see, it's actually a negative thing, but you're saying it in a positive way. So do you think this should apply to delivering bad news?
Sure. It also boils down to not everybody can actually make conversations. Not
Okay.
everybody can relay information. I might be saying something, but you might be reading it in a different way. I might be saying I'm going to the newsroom, and you might be thinking I'm going to the loo. So there's a way you make a conversation that be direct about it.
Okay.
Make the person know this is why this has happened. Maybe we're laying you off because we're trying to reduce the number of staff you have or something. Not because your efforts were not appreciated. There's a way you put it that the person will not really feel bad. Yes, the person might feel bad for not having the job anymore, but he won't really feel bad for being let go.
Okay.
He might really understand the rationale behind it.
Okay, thank you. If you're just joining us, this is LifeXtra, and the topic we're discussing is how best should you deliver bad news? So, and if to join this discussion, you can just give us your feedback. How best should you deliver bad news? Give us your feedback on the comment section. And here is a follow-up question. How will you want bad news to be delivered to you? Okay, let me take some comments. Some comments are already coming in. Let me take some of the comments. We have Isaac Muru, a civil servant. No, I'm coming. Okay, Fauzia Ahmed, she said that she will want a pep talk to prepare her for the news, only if it is positive. Only if it is positive. She said, if it is good news, I would love the pep talk, but please, if it is bad news, it will destabilize me a bit, and I don't need distraction. So Fauzia is saying that she wants bad news to be delivered directly. She doesn't want too much padding, that initial pep talk. She says it's only when it's a good news you can lay that foundation and go. But when it's bad news, she doesn't
usually good news don't really require much pep talk.
Yeah.
I think it's the not so good news that you would need to sugarcoat a bit.
To prepare the person.
You'll be direct about it, but yes, you try to prepare the person for that.
She even gave an instance. Let me read her instance. She said, I was called to come home that my attention was needed. Nobody told me anything. And then on their WhatsApp status, they were writing, Inna Lillahi. It was so frustrating that they were not saying anything to me. I was scared, anxious, and panicking until I got home the next day to learn my uncle died. I don't need the drama surrounding the news. I know what I went through with all sorts of scary thoughts running in my head. It can make one go crazy. So I need them to shoot the message directly. So
well, I can understand her own plight. With social media now, there are so many information flying out, and you would want to, you might conclude, or for some, they might even, what's this? When you think of something that is not right, and you begin to imagine things,
and you might even take decisions based on your assumptions.
Thank you. You see, when assumptions are involved, it's usually not pretty, because most times those assumptions are wrong until you're certain what it is. Her saying the inner lie, I can just imagine the thoughts she would be having, and yes, it will scare her. For somebody who might have high blood pressure, it's not good. So for that, I can understand, and maybe just shoot the message at that time.
Okay. So here is another one from Isaac Muru. He said he's indifferent about the way the message is delivered. The bottom line for him is the message is relayed at the end. So if you want to do it directly, if you want to do the pep talk, whichever way, just give him the message. He said, I think giving pep talks before the bad news should help calm some people down. For example, doctors will not directly tell you that the patient you brought in is dead. They will first tell you how they have tried their best and how there was nothing else they could do, so on.
That's right.
They only try to calm your nerves and prepare your mind before telling you the bad news. But even before they finally say it to you, already you know where they are headed.
Yes.
So
that's right.
So basically,
and you see, most times when doctors come out to relay the news, there's the way they look, there's the way their demeanor is. They are usually calm, and they are always very compassionate about it. And that's, I think, to me, that's the best way.
Mm.
You can tell from their body language, from their face, from their demeanor, but also you know where it is headed. But you are calm. You are calm because you are seeing them being calm.
Okay.
But for some that would get agitated and would begin the why me, why, but why, you see how some doctors try to calm them down. And that's why getting the right location also for delivering such bad news is key. You would want a place where the person is comfortable, so you'd like to look for a private location, but also in doing that you put in mind your own safety, because some might go
they like attack you.
Yeah, sure.
You who is the messenger, instead of the person who actually sends the message.
That's right.
Yeah, so that happens.
Yeah.
So keep your comments coming in. We're getting more comments and we'll read them when you send them. Let me give you this question. If in a relationship matter, let me say somebody is in a relationship, and let's say party A wants to end the relationship for whatsoever reason. Do you think, let's say the male person in the relationship, let's say the guy now wants to end the relationship, do you think he should give pep talk, or he should just really call it off, save the stress and just call it off, or do you think he should send someone else to do it?
Depending on the person you're dating,
because
we are all different. If the person you have dated, you should know. I think you should know the person. You should know the kind of
person's temperament.
The way those people react to such news. So yes, it depends on who you're giving that message to. If it's a crazy kind of person, forgive me for using that word,
someone with temperament, people who react,
another person whom that person respects will do the trick for you. Okay. But if it is someone that is calm and understanding, as long as you have given that person your reasons, the person should understand why.
Oh, okay. So let me take another one. Another comment from Shamsuya Ilya Epenta. He is also indifferent about pep talk. He said when delivering bad news, he will first observe the person's mood before deciding to give a pep talk or not.
Which is a very good one. Because you would want to know the emotional space that person is at the moment, at that instance. Some might be going through a lot. Adding more to that plate would be, even though some bad news need to be relayed at that moment, when you check out their mood and you see how they are at that moment, you will know where and how to relay the news.
Okay. I'm having internet connection problem, but please keep your comments coming. When I fix my internet, I'm going to continue reading them. Why I'm doing that, let me ask you this question. Have you been in a situation where you were the bearer of bad news?
Unfortunately, no. I try to avoid such because for so many reasons, to be honest. I'm more or less an emotional person.
Okay.
So I try to avoid such situations.
Oh, okay. So, did I ask you if you were to receive news, would you prefer pep talk?
I'd rather they shoot that message to me direct.
Okay. Why?
Let us just get it over with, so I can begin to think about how to process it.
Process of grief.
Yes.
Go through it.
Yeah. I'd rather just shoot it.
Yes.
Let me get it.
The delay will not even change the outcome anyway.
It won't. Yes, it might make one feel better. So for some it works, but for me, yes, it can work for me, but I'd rather just shoot that message and let me know how to deal with it. Let me know how to process it, because sometimes there are some messages that you at that moment you wouldn't even know where to start from, how to process it. So once I get that, I can begin to think about how to go forward from there.
Oh, okay. There is this comment here from Kubura Dahiru. She said, in some situations you should give pep talks, but it's not necessary. She said, give them the information so that they can begin to process it and move on with their lives.
Yeah. Just shoot it out there. Let them know what it is about, so that like she said, move on.
Okay, so I have this comment from Andy Molinsky. Oh, okay, no, that's not a comment. Oh, okay. He's a behavioral. He writes for Psychology Today. Andy Molinsky. He said he came up with tips on how to deliver bad news like
cool.
a pro.
That's cool.
So he said, after interviewing over 40 managers, he came up with this: how to deliver bad news like a pro. So basically, his is more or less like in a corporate setting. You know, of course, in a corporate setting, you have to give query,
Definitely.
you have to fire, you have to promote, you have to demote. There are so many sanctions. So if you're a manager, you are always in a position to. So let's get some of what he said. He said, you should prepare for the conversation, just like you've stated already, as you never want to wing it. Like maybe just come unprepared, like let me just go and just any which way I will do it. He now said, remind yourself why it is necessary in the first place.
Yeah.
Why do you need
you wouldn't want to give out a news that is not a bad news that is not really necessary.
Yes,
it has to be very important because you're dealing with people's emotions, you're dealing with so many things. You don't know what effect it would have on them. Why give them a news that is not really necessary?
Yes. He added that, like you said, no one likes to deliver bad news. So it will be easier if you feel justified delivering it. It's like there have to be a good reason.
That's right.
Yeah, so because nobody wants to be. Then he added that you should be direct, but also compassionate.
That's the most important. Like in delivering the news, you have to be compassionate about it. You can't just be like, hey, you, this happened. Like without any emotion. Haba.
So he said you should think about the location so that to minimize embarrassment.
Right.
Yeah, that you have to deliver bad news. Even if the person receiving the bad news is at fault, does not necessarily mean you should overkill, like using a sledgehammer to kill maybe a fly or something.
But after all, you did this, so you brought it upon yourself. It's not done that way. It's not done that way.
Okay. So whatever has a beginning must have an end. We thank you for all your contribution, and we thank you for staying with us in today's edition. From my producer, Jod Leonard Okafor, I am Bamas Victoria, and saying thank you and see you same time next Tuesday. Peace.